Welcome back, friends, to Max Q Barbecue. My name is Craig, and this is Season 3, Episode
7.
Pulled Pork. Now, for today's recipe, we've got this 7.5 pound bone-in Boston pork butt, which we picked up at Sam's Club. And we're gonna trim this thing up. We're gonna butterfly it a little bit so we can get some more seasoning on the inside. And we're gonna do a double layer of seasonings. For our base seasoning, we're gonna be using the Famous Dave's Rib Rub for our base. And then we're gonna be coming back and layering over the Holy Voodoo from Meat Church to give that a little kick. Alrighty, so stick around, we'll get this thing trimmed up. All right, friends, we got the plastic wrap off of our Boston pork butt, and we're just kind of feeling around some of these seams. Looks like there's a seam right here just above the 7 bone, and we're gonna go ahead and open that up. There's a little gland, or it looks like a little blood vessel here that's running through here. We're gonna go ahead and take that off, get that out, trim that out. And then we're gonna just kind of take this seam and run down between that seam and separate the muscles and the scapula there. Now what this is gonna do is this is gonna give us an ability to run some of our seasonings down inside the pork just to get a little more flavor on our pork. So you see we got that opened up on this side, nice. So next thing we're gonna do is gonna flip it around onto this side. This is the shoulder bone, scapula right here. Over here is the muscles that make up the neck muscles on the pig. And we're gonna split it along this seam here and open that up also to give us a little more room to get a little more seasoning down into our pork butt. So I'm just gonna use my fingers, work down along that fat seam, opening that up. Every now and then we get a little spot that's a little tight. We'll just take our knife, our deboning knife, open it up a little bit, make it a little easier to pull it apart. And looks like there's a little cartilage and some bone kind of right there. We're gonna trim those pieces off. That was probably where it was attached to what be the spinal cord or the vertebral column. We don't want all that gristle and all that in our meat. But yeah, we're just gonna clean this up a little bit more. There's a little area there where I can get my finger in there. We're gonna open this up so that we can get more flavor and more spice into our pork. We'll take out some of this hard fibrous ligamentous tissue and just kind of open that up. Gives us a little more room to get our seasoning down in there. Now this muscle, if you were getting ready for, say, a pork or a multi-meat competition, this muscle out here is called the money muscle. And a lot of the chefs that will be cooking in the competitions will take that muscle and separate it out and trim it off a little bit. And then when it's up to about 180, 175, 180 degrees, they'll separate that out and pull it away from the rest of the pork butt and season it up, and then they'll serve that as medallions. So the judges will have the pulled pork, which is extremely tender, and then that money muscle, which is like really tender pork chop. So there we have it. We've got it all separated out like we want. Plenty of room to get our seasonings in there. So let's go ahead and get our seasonings opened up and season it up. All right, we're gonna start with our base layer. Our base layer is gonna be the Famous Dave's. I'm gonna start right down here in this gap between the shoulder blade and the muscles here on top. Get that seasoning deep down inside. Flip that back, come over the outer edges. Put that seasoning there. Open it up in the middle where we separated the money muscle. Get it down in there. We're gonna go ahead and flip this over and catch the back side here. Make sure we get those edges. Get that seasoning down in there. And over here where the bone in, get that coated really heavy. Okay, now that we've got our base layer on there, we're gonna come back with our Holy Voodoo from Meat Church, Matt Pittman's flavorings. And we're gonna just lightly dust over our Famous Dave's. This will give it just a little more of a little spicier little kick to our flavor profile. And just catch in every direction we can catch. Alrighty, we've got it completely seasoned up. Pat it on this cutting board, get that seasoning worked in really good and attached to our pork. It's looking good. Alrighty, next step, we're gonna pull out some cellophane wrap and wrap this up. Alright, we have our first layer of plastic wrap on it. And now we're gonna just pull this out, roll it. Let's wrap it up nice and tight. And what we're gonna do is this is gonna dry brine overnight in the refrigerator. And tomorrow morning, we're gonna get up early and we're gonna build a fire in our Workhorse backyard offset smoker and get this thing started and smoking. So we'll get this thing wrapped and we're gonna get it in the refrigerator. Okay, we got our pork butt wrapped up in our plastic wrap. And we're gonna stick it in the refrigerator out here in the garage and let it sit here overnight. And we'll pull it out in the morning, put her on the pit. So overnight, the seasoning and spices that we put in our dry rub will have a chance to dissolve and soak into our meat and cure it a little bit. And then we'll be ready to put her on the pit tomorrow and smoke our pork butt. See you in the morning. As you can see, we already have smoke coming into our cook chamber. Next thing I want to do is I've got a tray here, little kitchen foil kitchen tray that I'm gonna put in here. And I always like to have a bit of moisture in the pit when I'm doing my pork. So I've got the tray in there and I'm gonna put about ½ an inch of water in the tray. I've got a pitcher. And we're going to adjust our grates. And there you have it. We're going to close up the Workhorse pit. We're going to open up the stack damper. Get that. And then we're going to let this thing start drawing air through there and heating up our pit. Our gauges are not even reading yet, so but still 44 degrees outside. Okay. Let's see, check back in about 15 minutes. So that'll be about 20 till 8. And hopefully our pit will be up temperature and then we can put our Boston pork butt on the fire. Welcome back, friends. Guess what we got out of the refrigerator? We got our pork butt out of the refrigerator. Got my gloves on here. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing opened up. Our pit is now up to temperature. Yeah, great temperature is about 233, 235. So it's time to get this baby on that pit and get it smoking. So let's open it up and let's get this thing out of this bag, or out of this cellophane. That might be more of a challenge than getting it on the pit. It's been dry brining in our refrigerator overnight, taking up all those seasonings and soaking into the meat. So here we go. I'm gonna put this thing, I think I'm gonna start off with it fat side up, and then we'll move it to fat side down a little bit later after it kind of comes up to temperature a little bit. All right. Now we just let the fire and the smoke do its job. All righty, we'll be back, check on it when we need to check on it, probably in an hour or so. Oh, one more thing. We're gonna go ahead and put our temperature probes in there so we'll know when to come back and check on it. Temperature probes are in. Now we're gonna let the fire and the smoke do its job. Isn't that beautiful? Just running smooth as a whistle. Fire doing its job and a pork butt just smoking up, taking up that smoke. Okay friends, it's been about 3.5 hours. So it's time to flip this over. I want to flip the fat side down and I want to spritz this thing. But boy, that thing is looking beautiful. Check it out. Gorgeous pork. All right, friends, while our charcoal fire is heating up and igniting, we're gonna go ahead and get our spritz. This is apple juice. We're gonna spritz and then we're gonna rotate our pork. Boy, that looks great. Welcome back, friends. Our pork butt has been on about 6 hours now. So one of the thermometers is up to 174, the other one's at 148. It's time to actually wrap our pork butt. So we're gonna do that right now. So I've got some heavy duty aluminum foil here. It's a little windy out here today, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull some of this out. See if I get this pork butt wrapped before the wind blows it away. So here we go. Get our gloves on. And we did. Fast. Gotta be fast. All right, we're gonna wrap this one around this way, wrap it up nice and tight. We're also going to squirt a little bit more of our apple juice on it. Remember, the reason that we're wrapping this is we want to create a moist environment for our pork to be cooking in. It's that moisture in the presence of water that our proteins and collagen, which is the fiber, will break down and actually turn into gelatin, which gives us that nice, soft, tender texture that we want with our pulled pork. And so this makes it much more tender. All right, so I'm going to do one more sheet. This will be our third sheet. I'm going to go around it this direction. Roll this puppy up and then we'll get right back onto the pit. Fold that down, fold that down, rolling it up, roll those in. All righty, there's our pork butt. So we're gonna put it back on, put our thermometers back in, and let this thing finish. Alrighty, fire's doing good. We're still running on our lump charcoal, and we're just gonna let her roll until it's time to feed her again. Alrighty, take care. Be back soon. Welcome back, friends. As you can see, our fire is petering out, and we're only getting about 200 degrees out of it, and we want to get our meat up to about 205. So we're going to go ahead and take this out and finish it in the oven, because we're probably 20-30 minutes away from being finished, and I don't feel like putting a lot more wood and fire just for the next 20 minutes. Okay, so let's take a look at our pork. Of course, you can't see very much because it's all wrapped, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the probes, pull the water pan, bring it inside, and finish it in the oven. We're just about 6-7 degrees away from being where our target temperature of 205. So we'll just finish it in the next 30 minutes in the oven, and then we're going to go out tonight. So I'm going to go in, take a shower, and get dressed, and ready to go out, and that way I won't have to worry about the fire, worry about the pork butt. All right, we'll get this thing off and into the house. All right, friends, we have our pork butt in the house in the oven. We have the oven set on 250 degrees. Got our probes attached, and there she is. So we only have about 8-10 degrees to go. So we're gonna let her finish here in the oven. Okay, friends, it is 6:30 p.m. and in the last hour, our pork butt has risen to the temperature that we would like for it to be at, which is 205, 204 degrees. The oven is still at 250, but we just turned it off. So we're just gonna leave it in the oven and rest it in the oven. And Amy and I are gonna go out and have dinner with some friends, and when we get home, we'll be pulling the pork. All right, take care, we'll be back. Stick around, we'll be back. Okay, friends. We have pulled our pork. Sorry I didn't pull out the camera to video it, but actually just took the pork out of the oven and pulled it and separated it up into these little containers. Oh, it looks so good, and it also tastes so good. There's our pulled pork. It's all portioned out. So we're gonna put that in the freezer. We did sample it, and oh my God, the flavors are amazing. You definitely can taste that pecan wood and pecan flavoring, and that Meat Church Voodoo and Famous Dave's come right on through. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed our video today, and we're gonna enjoy this tomorrow. Or actually, we're going to enjoy it later. My wife's going to bring it back to Baton Rouge for her mom. Alrighty, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.